Hey, I can't hear
Oh,
you. Oh,
can you hear me now?
I can.
Ha ha!
Nice. Is that the illustrious studio I'm seeing there?
Ah, yes. Ah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Huh? Right on. Well, I guess I should do a little intro here. Welcome to the very first Shorter Artist Hour, where we won't be talking for quite an hour, but that's okay because it's the shorter hour because I'm Susan Shorter. Hi. Anyway, this is where we talk to my superbly talented friends that I think that the world needs to know more about because I am lucky to be graced with the beauty that these awesome people create on a daily basis in my Facebook feed and social media. And this is one of my favorite friends on the planet. This is Phil Velikan, and he makes monsters and does graphic design and all kinds of stuff, a real jack of all trades. So what are you working on now?
So much.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I've got a Kickstarter I'm trying to fulfill.
Is that the
And
mandrakes?
yes,
I love it.
there-
Do you have any to show? Oh my God, yes.
there's like a billion.
Are you painting all of those or
Yes.
wow.
So, and then behind them, there's the big ones.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I absolutely love mine. I would show him, but it's one of the yawning ones for anybody who wants to get on his site and see him. But I loved having it on my speaker at the last Comic-Con. Oh, and it's so cute. And so many people commented on it. It's become my table buddy now. That's the one. That's so freaking cute. And so
Thank
it's
you.
going to be at my table all the time now. So people can ask, where did you get that awesomeness? And I can be my buddy Phil, two tables down.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be next to you at the Comic Con.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, for anybody going to Indie Comic Con, we have a little section. It's going to be so it's me, then you, then Phil, or Phil, Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah, right on. So I was going to ask you about Mythos Monsters. How did that happen?
Uh, it's something Jacob thought up. He was using it to sell his artwork, and it was kind of an umbrella for all of his projects.
Okay.
And he and I met at the Illustrator lunch, which is used to be held on the East Side.
So is that
And
an Indiana thing?
yeah,
Oh,
um, it was on the South Side in Fountain Square. Then it moved to the East Side of Indy, to Giacomo's Pizza.
oh, good place.
And we would just meet there once a month. I think it was the first Tuesday of the month, maybe last
Yeah.
Tuesday. I don't. COVID killed it, but I met him there, and I liked his artwork, his Cthulhu stuff, and
Yeah.
then when it came time to pay, he put his credit card on the table, and it was the same as mine, and which was Members Credit Union in Brownsburg, and I was like, "Where do you live?" And he lived like 15 minutes away from me,
Nice.
so.
Yeah, I met him as being a Hoosier too, just because we were both into the same podcast. And I messaged him when I saw him on there to ask him some questions when I saw he was a Hoosier. And then
Mhm.
we ended up meeting up at a Soundgarden concert. So I've been friends ever since. Indiana's got some talent.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Well, we had a couple paint days and art days where we just hang out at each other's house, and he did conventions, and one day he asked if I wanted to share a booth with him,
Cool.
and I really didn't have a lot, but I paid for half the table, and then just put my stuff in with his stuff, and it just kind of worked because we don't really compete 2D
Yeah.
versus 3D. I I think maybe once in the last decade someone has come up and bought both of our stuff in the same purchase. It's either one or the other. They want 3D or they want 2D.
Yeah. But you do 2D as well. I know you've done like illustration and graphic design and all that kind of stuff. Do you have, well, is sculpture your favorite or is that the one that just comes the most naturally?
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my passion. But I had an instructor at Ball State, and my senior year there, I asked him where the money in fine
There's
arts was.
yeah.
And he said art supplies.
Oh, ouch.
So then I started doing graphic design, and I went to Ivy Tech for graphic design and started doing that. And there's a lot more money in that.
Yeah.
But
But even that's getting automated now. I forget the different websites and stuff, but Grant's complained about that a lot. And then like the whole AI thing now with illustration. So yeah, they haven't figured out how to sculpt yet, I don't think. I don't know, but give them time.
3D printing.
Oh crap. Never mind.
Look at this.
Aw. Hey, little booger.
I made this. This is a video game character. I
Okay.
made this in a program called Nomad, and I printed it off, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah. I haven't got to play with one yet. I know our library has one and I've had a few ideas. Oh, I see your kitty. But yeah, they look fun. They do. And they would save time. I get that.
And you can print all the sizes, and like if he doesn't like the body, I can change the body in like 5 minutes and print off a new one. I mean, it would
Yeah.
take me hours to like put different legs on him or something, you know.
Yeah. But there is something to the process of making molds and doing all that kind of, crap as well. They're kind of visceral. How did you learn how to do that stuff? I don't think they
Um,
had that sort of thing at Ball State, at least not when I was there.
no.
Yeah.
Uh, David Pancake. I met him at the artist line.
Yeah.
He came one day, and he brought one of his dragon heads, and he was telling us how this was a casting. And I was looking at it, and there was no air bubbles.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who lives in Bloomington, we had a very short-lived. Settle down. A very short-lived company where we made these monsters and things.
That's awesome.
And these were model kits. Look at how dusty.
Oh. Yeah,
And
you get your beer holder down. Sorry, but go ahead. He's got an
um,
awesome mermaid beer holder that I was commenting on earlier for anybody watching. Anyway.
yeah. So we were making these, and Dave was casting. I was sculpting them, and Dave was casting them and molding them. And they were just full of air bubbles and things. So
Yeah.
David said, "Yeah, come on over one day, and I'll show you how to do it." And it must have been the quality of the supplies, because Dave, my friend I was doing this with,
Yeah.
uh, we were in a temperature controlled, humidity controlled area, and we could not get things to work.
Hmm.
Dave Pancake does it in his garage in a rainstorm, and they come out perfect. And so, I was just like, how do you do this? And he showed me
Yeah.
how to do it.
Well, that's awesome.
And
The pancakes are the sweetest people. That's whose panels I'll be having at Indiana Comic Con. They came from David to Jacob to me.
yep.
So that's so sweet. Well, oh, speaking of your building and all that kind of stuff, I did see on your website that you did a set for Sammy Terry. How did that happen?
um, the friend, it all goes back to your friends, the people
Yeah.
you meet. A friend of mine, when I first started working graphic design, I worked at Howard Sam's, and we did book covers and catalogs and illustrations. And my supervisor, Lynn, she got a job at Channel 4,
Oh, cool.
and they wanted to do a Sammy Terry revival or special show, because he had retired at that point. This
Yeah.
was like 2000, I think. And they had already thrown away the set, and they had thrown away the coffin.
I that that doesn't make sense.
Somebody was cleaning out the warehouse behind Channel 4. They just threw all that stuff away. Luckily, someone somewhere saw it at the dump and
Thank God.
and
That's
so
insane.
so when they announced they were doing this, that guy contacted Channel 4, which could have been a lawsuit, I suppose. But
Yeah.
he said, "I have the coffin,"
That's
and
so cool.
so Lynn and I painted it. And hold on a second, I have something.
All right. Let's see. Oh, that's wild. That's so cool. Yeah, I totally grew up watching him.
Trying to get the glare off it, but yeah, that's me.
Aw. So is this forgive my ignorance on this. I know he's gone now and his son took over. So is that the original or is that his son?
That's the original.
Okay, I wasn't sure when he passed away.
Wasn't long after that.
Okay. Wow. So did you grow up watching him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's so
scared to death.
cool.
Yeah,
Nice. So I know we got together last year and was able to give you my kiln. Thank God it's got a home and somebody can do something with it. But so is your son into the arts as well?
he's going to be an art teacher.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, that's where the consistency can come with art, as being a teacher.
oh yeah, he was he was going to be an architect. He thought that would be a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And my friend Don is an architect at RQAW up in Nickel Plate. What's that place called?
A nickel plate, yeah.
Nickel Plate. Yeah.
Although I'd like
But
to hear the Nickelback story, though, if you could come up with one.
so he works at this architecture place, and I was like, Mitchell, come on, we can go see what it's like. Don talked to his boss, and we go up there and walk around, and he shows Mitchell everything about being an architect. And we get in the car, and Mitchell's like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm gonna be pushing carts at Walmart till I'm 80.
Welcome to my life. No.
So he decided he wanted to be an art teacher. Now my wife is a teacher, so
Oh, perfect.
he knows what that's like, and he's always liked all of his art teachers.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the perfect fusion of what you do and what his mom does.
Yeah.
Nice. Did
Now
you always Oh, go ahead.
my daughter, she wanted to be an art teacher, and then she decided that wasn't for her. So she's working at admissions at IUPUI. She
Oh,
graduated in May.
okay. Well, that's very cool. Did you always know you wanted to be an artist?
Oh yeah. I even told my dad. I remember telling my dad when I was a preteen that I wasn't going to college. It's like, I'm going to be an artist. I'm not going to college. And he was like, you'll change your mind. And I did. I went to college for a while.
Yeah. Mine was I just had to I had to have a plan. So they weren't closed to it. My stepdad is a mystery writer and my mom is a musician, but she was also a teacher. And so I just sat down with them and talked about how, like, greeting cards have art on it. There's CD covers, there's, just all the ways that art is in our world. I'm like, there's somebody out there doing this. Somebody's creating these books and somebody's all of it. So I said, I just have to find my way. And I always knew I was going to be an artist, even if I had to be a waitress too. And hopefully it doesn't end up being that way now that I'm post author solutions. So we'll see.
That face. I
Oh,
know. It was a fun gig.
yeah. I did recently get contacted by somebody there to see if I would be interested. I don't know if it was like an official, like, we'd love to have you again freelance, but they were just curious if I would be willing since I'm past that period after you've been laid off to where I could legally work for them again. So
The non-compete.
yeah, but I've been advised to just let that door stay closed. But
Mm.
there's another part of me that's like, well, if I'm freelance and it's not money I know how to make. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I know. I always love when you post your cartoony art
Thank
on
you.
there. I wish there was a place like our house.
Yeah, I'm hoping to keep doing children's book. I've done one book since I left there, and I have made up like postcards to send out to traditional publishing houses because I know that's one way to contact. And I bought the children's book, the guidelines book or whatever that has all the
Mhm.
publishers in there. And I went through and I emailed people and I sent snail mail and did all that. But I hear you're supposed to do that quarterly. So I'm going to try to do another round of that soon. And ideally, it would just be awesome to be picked up by a traditional house. It's like, hey, we're going to keep you in enough work for a yearly salary. And then you can do whatever you want outside of that. That would
And you
be
hear crickets.
oh, damn it, it can happen. Or I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, everybody should come out to Indiana Comic Con and buy our stuff this weekend.
Yes,
Yes. Are you
because
bringing
you don't
anything
want to see
special?
this.
Yes.
You
You can
don't
see
want to
that in
see
the
this on
flesh.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. So, are you bringing anything special to the show
Well, um,
other than yourself?
not really. I I've got some projects that are coming up in Kickstarters, but they're not ready for. I don't have molds made or anything.
Yeah.
Um, I can show you the next one.
Okay. And then I have Kickstarter questions for you.
Creeping back. Okay, let's see. I'm going to move you down to the desk here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
What
Let's
do we got?
see. We got this. We got this. We got this.
I think I might have seen this on your Patreon.
And we got that. And we got that.
Yes.
Well, that
Beautiful.
doesn't really help, but
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. That looks so good. Now, will you be offering, like on this last Patreon, you offered painted and unpainted? Will you be doing the same? Because I kind of like the idea of painting my own.
that's something I've been doing the last does that help or not? The last couple Patreon or the last couple Kickstarters I've been doing,
Very
I've
cool.
been doing a painter's tier,
Yeah.
which is I don't know, like $10 or $20 cheaper, roughly, than the painted ones, and it's just resin, just plain resin, and then you just decorate it however you want. It's like a garage kit,
Yeah.
basically.
No, that's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, I think the first two, I think I only had one person choose that, but the mandrakes, I've got 7 boxes down here ready to mail.
Nice.
Yeah, the people that just want to paint it and do it themselves.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
great.
that's,
Saved you time.
yeah, I mean, I just pull them out of the mail or out of the molds, clean them up a little bit, and send them on their way.
Yeah. So you've done a lot of Kickstarters. I am intimidated as hell to do a Kickstarter because I've like written up ideas for a few of them and I still have some of the crap that I have already bought to like go towards a Kickstarter. But then I get wrapped up in well, what about taxes? Well, what about shipping? Well, what about the weights? Well, what about this and that? To where they just get in my head and I'm like, I can't fucking do it.
It's just too much.
It's too much. So
Honestly, the first one I was terrified. Um, Jacob and I usually put each other as collaborator on our Kickstarters,
Yeah.
and then that collaborator is an extra set of eyes. Like I'm like, can you look at this before I push go?
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise nobody can see it until you hit go. And once somebody bids on it or pays
Pledges.
some money,
Yeah.
yeah, pledges. There you go. As soon as
Hey.
somebody pledges, you can't change it. So, like
Damn.
one time, I think it was when I did the heart, this thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, we made one of the pledges. We didn't include shipping, I think, by mistake, and we didn't catch it until like 3 people pledged. So what you have to do is stop the pledges, limit it to 3 people, and then
Oh, I
make a
see.
whole nother pledge level with shipping. So there's ways around it. And as for shipping, I try to make everything fit in one of these,
That's smart.
because then everything is $9 to ship. Or
Okay.
I think it's 10 now.
So then there's no question marks or whatever. You're just like shipping is $9 and you just know that for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Um, because what was the last thing? Oh, the walkers. I made those walkers, and
Yeah.
one of them shipped to Washington, and it was like twice as expensive as sending it anywhere else. When
That's
you don't
wild.
use these, it's really wild how it'll go from like 250 to $8, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because I ship prints just from my Etsy and I'll just whatever package them the same way every time. But then when I get down to the post office, it's like this time it was $4, this time it was $8. I'm just like, it's the same freaking thing. So yeah. Well, that's a good tip. Maybe I can find something that they have that same price thing that would fit like a good sized print. Cause I was thinking about doing like limited edition large prints of my peony dragon or of the nature lady one I just finished up. Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a glare,
informative.
but
I love it.
thanks. And yeah, so do you have any you're 100% freelance, right?
Mhm.
So do you have any tips for the girl that is one well, I do the sound booth thing, but that's freelance as well. So any tips?
Depends on what you're looking for. My
To not
biggest
worry
tip.
about my money so much.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
then don't be
doomed.
a freelance artist.
You're doomed. Because that's all I worry about.
Yeah.
Mm,
So what would you say? Do Kickstarters? Are they the big part of it? Is it the conventions? Is it online sales for you personally?
I at a convention, I think the most I ever made at a convention was $1,200.
Yeah.
Like, they don't make a lot of money for me. But Kickstarter, once you make a Kickstarter, those people follow you.
Mm,
And so when I make a new Kickstarter, they're alerted that I have made a new Kickstarter.
yeah.
And so they come back and check it out. And I've shipped things to Japan and Norway and Germany and Australia, like, and I think each one has been over $1,000 at
Nice.
least. And that's the
That helps.
smallest one.
And international shipping, is that affected at all by the same price thing?
Uh, you can guarantee at least $25 added to your shipping.
But you can do Kickstarters where you're like, it's just within the continental US, right?
I do that, but international people will email me and they'll say, um, how much would it be? And I'll tell them, send me your address and I'll go find out.
Okay.
And like right now, Germany, for whatever reason, is collecting some kind of import tax, which added like another $10. And Ireland is the same way, but only one half of Ireland. Northern Ireland, no. Southern Ireland, yes. So if you send it to Northern Ireland and then have them send it to Southern Island, and then you can save like $15.
That's wild. Yeah.
It's and Japan is like $40. I don't know why Japan is.
That's crazy. I think Germany's the one I ship to the most simply because that's where the book The Never Ending Story is from, and I do a lot of that kind of art, so got a lot of German fans out there. But yeah, the whole
Dare
internet. Oh, go ahead.
dare I tell your fans that I've never seen that movie?
Well, this interview is done. That's a wrap. So my ex-friend Phil, I think he'll be at the Comic-Con, but no, for real. I think he might have told me that, but
I did.
I would tell you to remedy that right away, but I think you'd still appreciate it as far as its artistry and everything. I mean, because they made everything, especially as a sculptor. Like they made some awesome creatures in this movie. But I mean, there's a lot of it that's definitely not going to hit you the way it would have, as a kid in the 80s.
Oh, sure.
So, but you should still watch it as an artist, and I think you'll appreciate it for sure.
But see, at that time, I had graduated high school when that came out. So
Makes sense.
was it 85?
Right around that region, 84 to 86, I think. And I
Yeah.
feel like a bad fan, but I was a little one. I was like 5 when it came out.
Yeah. See, I graduated high school in 84.
Okay.
So I was like, you know, I look at that
Yeah.
poster and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go pay to see a Muppet movie. And I know it's not Muppets. I know.
How many people are you going to offend on this podcast?
I'm only getting started.
Oh, all right. Well, hating on the Muppets and Neverending Story. Do you have a favorite artist out there within your field or not within your field? Who's your jam? Who inspires you?
Spider Zero.
I don't know who that is. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but he goes by Spider Zero. He'll take like a bit of clay on his lunch hour and just make this incredibly intricate bug alien thing that you look at it and you're like, how? I mean, or he'll make a diorama. He'll make these incredible dioramas of like 18 zombies chasing a man who is shooting them from up on top of a bus.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I love the people we're associated with. That's so freaking cool. Oh, I did have another question because we're like getting low on time. My little timer thingy is going to go off soon. Do you whenever you work, are you like a podcast guy or do you listen to music? What's your jam?
Mostly videos. Like, yeah, I know it's weird.
No, because I sometimes will have like that going on, but it depends on what I'm working on, how engaged I need to be visually.
Yeah, my music tastes are all over, and I found that when I'm listening to music, I'm like, yeah, tired of that. Yeah, tired of that. Yeah, tired. So I'll have like Netflix or something on, like, right. You can't see it. I've got 3 monitors here.
Okay.
And
all right, yeah.
So in that one,
I love the eyeball.
That was my Halloween costume.
Nice.
And the floating eyeball.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's a Cintiq, and those 2 are what I work on.
Whoa, wait. Now, is that a picture of my husband up there? It looks like Grant. What? That framed in the yellow or the red sweatshirt.
Oh, that's my friend.
To show that to him. Yes, that is fantastic. And you've officially won this podcast. I don't know how many people I will have on or how many episodes, but that wins. Oh, that's so cool.
That was the plan. Hey, you're crooked.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, Well, it says my free time's gonna end in 10 minutes. We are in a countdown. So we haven't well, done. Cheers. Salud. Thank you so much for being my very first
Geo.
cheers. My very first guest.
Well, awesome.
Has it been pain-free so far? Or
Yeah.
is there anything that you feel like you need to talk about or people need to know before they come see you
Um,
this weekend?
oh, you asked me if there's any advice for a new freelancer.
Yes, please.
I don't know how we got off track.
Chatting.
The biggest thing I can tell you is to have 3 folders. One is invoices
Hmm.
to be paid, one is paid invoices, and one is deductions.
Okay.
When you get paid, you take the receipt or whatever and you put it in the paid envelope. And then you take these 2 envelopes to the tax man.
Yeah.
That is huge. You wouldn't believe how many people don't keep stuff straight.
Oh, I'm very anal retentive, but I think overthinking it all. I have 2 different Excel spreadsheets. One has like income and one is expenses. And then of course I have a second account in my banking area. So as soon as I get paid, I take 25% out and I just throw it in there. So it's not even connected to my funds. And I've been scanning receipts or just taking photos of them and plopping them in. So I'm trying.
Yeah,
It's
you're doing
intimidating
great.
as hell. And Grant and I are wanting to get a house soon. And I'm like, how do I do proof of income? Yeah.
You really don't.
So, I mean, if we do it just on one salary, that's gonna, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you use
World.
your taxes. Your taxes will,
Okay. So I can use
like,
last year's and I'm okay.
well, there you go. Buy a house this year.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But like, I've got uh, crap, like 20 years of freelance, so I can show them that how much I make each year through the
Yeah.
tax, and so that shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can get approved just on Grant. I don't know. He's got that nice IU job for us. So
He is the world's best champion.
you did that. That's the coolest fucking thing. Oh, I wish he was here. So, but he's had to work on campus. But I can't wait to show that to him. All right, Mr. Phil. I guess we
He's
should
not going to
practice.
let us play anymore.
I know. Oh man. But I can't wait to see you this weekend, and I can't thank you enough for this. Are you ready for Comic-Con, or do you still have stuff to do?
I haven't even taken those tubs down off the shelf yet.
I'm so freaking jealous. Yeah, hidden behind this is like a freaking tower of totes and stuff that I've all intricately like been organizing. And anyway, we'll be there in a couple days.
You're
You're setting up
talking
Friday?
about, I got to go Thursday night and set up so that I
Yeah,
don't forget anything. And I'm like, I got to show up by noon. So I'll leave here about 10:30.
nice. And I'm
If you
sure your
forget it, you
setup will be
forget it.
beautiful. I'll be the one stressed out on my third freaking cappuccino or something.
We'll
It's
bring
all
you a
good.
cracker.
The cracker, yes. Did he ever find it?
I don't know.
All right. The reference to Jacob Walker we'll cover in my interview with him. And hopefully we can do a shorter happy hour after we wrap up the convention. So we'll see.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think, are we good? Anything you felt like you need to cover?
No, I'm good.
Right on. Well, thank you so much. You rock and have an awesome night.
All right, you too.
All right. Later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.